Hello and welcome to another Dungeon Defenders 2 video. Today I've planned to show you a neat little way that you can try to beat the Chaos 9 Expedition difficulty using only auras and traps and nodes and also a barricade. Now this is going to be what I used because I still don't really have the Chaos 9 gear to just out DPS. So what I'm about to show you might not work for you, and it's just like a thought process that kind of worked for me. So here's the build. First of all, obviously I'm going to use flame auras, so I need to remove my there we go. I need to remove my range. So I just place 3 flame auras. Now if you also have Lavamancer, you can also use his what's it called, Fissures, to place them closer. Then I take out my Dryad. The reason I take out my Dryad is for her trees, because it's really cheap at 20 DU only, and a reflect beam. Now why a reflect? The reason I have this reflect and the tree here is so that whenever the elder wyverns come, they get aggroed and start shooting, but they're just standing in the flame auras taking damage. So from here you just want to buff your flame auras. Now the reason I have 2 in the back is because these Zerkers will come up close and start hitting the tree, so you want to have a lot of damage up front for these Zerkers, and I usually top it off with a buff beam going across all 3. It's a really expensive setup like this, but it does work. I've done it like this multiple times, but it works on lanes like these, where you have like this one single lane that doesn't split, or that like merges over here. And then I'm going to also show you the way I also build it. So, wow, okay. So my second way of building is just 2 flame auras. Then I take out my buff beam across, boost the aura in front, and lightning strikes. Like, it doesn't really matter as long as you have those there. And then I go for Lavamancer and place him right there. Now if you want, you can also, I hate misclicking, you can also put it in front of the flame auras. And if you are precise enough, it should... Okay, it is getting buffed. And then you just put a Lightning Strikes aura in the middle. Lightning Strikes aura, I will go over the build more in detail at the end. Now I'm just showing you the builds. Now, as you can see, they have really low damage. It is due to my not even having an offensive, because I do not use the Fissures all that much personally. But this might be a cheaper and even potentially a better setup than having just 3 flame auras and having them super buffed. Now, if I remember, this setup was 250 DU. The other setup is 270. Oh no, it's 240. So it's even cheaper. Oh wait, I forgot the reflect beam. Yeah. Okay, now the true is 260. So you need to find out how much DU you can put into a build. If you can do 250 or 260 per lane, I think this specifically won't be all that good until I get my hands on a Chaos 9 Fissure build. Then I'm gonna remove the tree and the reflect field, and it's gonna work even better. So these are the 2 trap setups or aura setups that I recommend. to go over my build. Now, of course, I also have range. So my flame auras, specifically destruction, mass destruction, deadly strikes, with the anti-melee, defense rate, and controller. Alternatively, you could use diverse power, diverse crit damage, and diverse crit chance, probably. Maybe defense rate would be better. I'm not exactly sure. I don't do diverse builds because I don't know. I'm not a diverse kind of guy. But the only thing I would change on this relic would be controller for anti-melee, because, or not anti-melee, anti-chaos. Controller does nothing for my setup. So if you do the exact same thing, pop an anti-chaos, and it's gonna be much better. Now my boost aura, mass destruction, and boosted power, with defense range, diverse power, and a diverse crit damage. Then my lightning strikes aura just uses, it doesn't matter. If you want it upgraded, you can use an anti-boss setup, like the one that I have currently, except for controller can probably swapped for an defense rate. I don't use my lightning strikes aura for damage, so I mainly use it for destructive pylon hypershard to increase the nearby damage, and then a random rate and destruction just because I can. For my Lavamancer, I would use destruction. Now, obviously, it would be upgraded. Deadly strikes and defense rate with an. Now, this is my anti-frost setup, which is why I have a double rate setup for overcap. But if I did the setup that I have showed you right now, I would probably make a second relic with anti-melee, anti-chaos, and defense rate, and swap out this defense rate for a mass destruction. Then my buff beams have Empiric Empowerment, Boosted Beam, and the Destruction with diverse crit damage, and diverse power servo. Now, as for my Reflect Beam, it doesn't matter. The reason you use the Reflect Beam is not because of automation, because automation has a secret ability to counter cyborgs, but since we don't see any cyborgs in this game, it's purely to protect from ranged opponents, so it can be a campaign relic. It doesn't need to be builded at all. And if you wonder about my trees, my Dryad has Fortification, Explosive Shield Guard, Juggernaut with an Accumulator 10 servo and a crit chance servo, which does nothing. So my tree setup is really not that great. Probably using hardened servo and a protective downgrade could be also nice, just to make it stronger and last longer in case anything does reach and smack it. So yeah, that is the two builds that I wanted to show you, using the traps and auras and nodes. It is really nothing simple. Chaos 9 is a really difficult expedition tier. Do not expect to just come in and steamroll it. You will need to gear and get the Chaos 9. The only reason I can beat it is because I've tried this one, but without the fissures. Those will not work whatsoever. So let me also quickly show you the build that I do use and how good it actually is. Yeah, it's a buff beam. I don't know why I sold this, because I'm dumb. Come on. Okay, so let's do this. Deadly Stripes. Everything is set. Okay. So as you can see, it does hold nicely in AFK. You just need about 15 million DPS. Now, as you saw, sometimes the Zerkers did manage to get through. So there's really no way to work around that. The only way you can defeat these Zerkers is to kill them yourself. So yeah, as you can see, my Flame Auras, the only Chaos 9 relic, pretty end gamey setup, so it might not be something you can just do because you want to do. There's gonna be a lot of farm needed, but this is one of the other builds that I use whenever I try to do anything else other than Unholy Catacombs and cannot use the artillery cannons. This is a pretty decent setup. Everything you do after that, you just build up your flame auras to do even more damage. And that's about it. The only difficulty from here is that the bosses that come with like 500 million or 600 million health up to 900 million, like this Cannon Ogre, he is really easy, really simple. You don't even need to care because he will get aggroed to the tree, and because of the reflect beam, he just won't do anything. He's just gonna stand there and die. So that is basically it. You can just AFK. Of course, there are certain bosses that you're gonna have to deal with yourself. For example, the Draken Lord, which will require you to ignite him yourself. The Siege Roller, which you will have to kill yourself again. And maybe if a Yeti shows up, I don't know. But that is about it. It's just a breeze from here. Upgrade as much as you need. I usually go around and upgrade all of my defenses. And I beat the map. In case you care, I'm going to speed up the video until the end of wave 5, so you can see if I win or if I lose. And so you can see that it really is just like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. I'm gonna try to find another build. Like for the Unholy Catacombs, already have a build in mind to show you how you can do it the Chaos 8 style. How we used to farm Chaos 8 before with artillery cannons, and as well for other similar builds that could work for other maps. And I'm also going to be reviewing the Countess once I get her today, because I only need 300 more, so that should be easily obtainable today to get the final 300 medals that I need. So without further ado, hope you enjoyed the video until the end, and hope it helps you farm easier.